Noel.
Well, the safety committee was asked to write something, change Article 5 to include that no parking on roads. So this is what we came up with. It's a little difficult because you park on the easements, I mean on the shoulders of the road. But you know, I wanted to make it so that it was that they could enforce this, but not be too difficult for people.
What's the change?
What's the change?
How does it read now and how is it going to read under your proposal?
Well, this is the proposal, and the proposal did not say anything about not parking on the road.
So the last bullet.
So the last bullet
is that correct?
Added.
That's a complete addition, it's not a modification of it.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
No, it's modified now.
Well, yeah.
Noel?
Yes. Well, okay, we modified it in respect that there was just 8A, and we've made it 8A and B because, why do we do that? I can't remember. Yeah, one is about the individuals and the other is the guests, contractors and so on. But essentially, the last bullet is what we added to it.
Oh, so you added a whole new subparagraph, 8B, to cover guests, and just reiterated the same bullets.
Yes.
Okay, I understand that. All right, Ray, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I would recommend that some leeway be given to change the wording from no parking at any time on the main services to maybe not allowing 24-hour overnight parking. Because you do have areas in this property where there's no other choice. I think Waterside being one. There are some areas, if they have more than 1 or 2 guests, they're just going to have to park in areas. But I think that 24 hours should not be permitted and should be cited.
So you're saying, say no parking overnight, but they can park there during the day? Okay, because I was looking at it that if they were parking there during the day, it might block traffic and be a hazard for our emergency vehicles. So my concern would be more that they don't park there during the day than if they park there overnight.
I just don't think you should sanction that.
I don't think this is enforceable this way, because, I mean, if you think about most of the shoulders, at least on our street, are a culvert. I mean, if you're going to get off the road, you're going to be in a hole, basically. I don't think that if people have enough parking at their homes, that if they have a party, they're going to be able to keep people off the road.
In fact, we see that, have seen that many times, going to various people's homes within the community where you just cannot get off the road.
Exactly, Pat?
And I know that this was brought up because we must have said something already. How big a problem is this?
The problem I see is boats being parked long-term on road surfaces.
Let's say no boats.
No, because that's not what we were asking.
Recreational vehicles. Also, there are residents that do park their vehicles on roads that could find another alternative. You know, there is that too. So I think we need to discourage it. I don't think there should be 24-hour parking. There's certainly a risk for the person parking on the road, a reliability risk, and there's certainly the risk for the association knowing that there is a risk that we don't take action to prevent it. And I think that it does need to be enforced on a 24-hour basis. You can't permanently park a vehicle on the road surface.
Dave?
Yeah, as I look at this and then I look at tab 16, I'm thinking, why are we doing this in isolation from tab 16? And it seems like it ought to be part of tab 16 as far as maybe rewriting the whole article and maybe referring this to a committee.
This was not a recommendation by the safety committee. This was what we were told to do.
Oh, I understand. I'm just saying that why don't we do it all? Why don't we revisit, as suggested here, the entire article and pull that in, have one of the committees, refer to committee. Well, is that safety committee? Okay, safety committee.
But I think,
But it's security too, there's a lot of security stuff in there.
yeah, I don't disagree with what you just said, Dave, but I think it would be nice if the board gave the committee a little bit of direction, lest they come back with something the board doesn't like again. I think this parking thing is a real problem. This kind of prohibition is a real problem in this community because of the physical layout of the community. We just aren't set up to accommodate guests or two cars or all kinds of problems people have because of the geography that we've got. I mean, if you try to put something in this place that would completely cut out the entire social activity of the community, you couldn't visit anybody's house.
Well, I would think Ray brings up a good point about a vote. And I would think, and I don't know if you have the mayor, but I would think you go talk to that individual and say, look, you can't leave your vote out here. It's halfway out on the road, somebody's gonna hear it.
Yeah.
That's almost a different issue to me. On the other hand, we don't have enough boat storage space, we're running out of that. So it's the issue that we had once before, that we used to go after boats, I think. And then we said, well, we can't do that because now we're gonna charge people to put their boats up.
How uninviting do we want to make our community to its own members?
I'm thinking sort of a Concord-Chandler thing, John.
Robin, you had your hand up. Robin?
I was pretty much gonna say what Ray said. If you say you can't do 24-hour parking on the roadway, it discourages people from parking there at all, because they're gonna bid out the car, and so they're gonna look harder for a place to get off of the roadway. But we should say it's okay to use the easement as part of these rules. My concern is not the boats, but the trucks. The construction people and the repair people and the aqua people just park right in the middle of the road. And then you can't go either direction around them. And you really take a risk.
Sometimes it's necessary, don't you?
Yeah.
Mike, you had your hand up.
Yeah, referring again to Waterside Drive, all last year, you had construction dumpsters parked on the road that made it damn near impossible to get up Waterside. I mean, literally, there were nights prior to the road being paved that I used to use Waterside to go home, and I had to stop and come back because you had boats on this side of the road and other trailers and construction dumpsters right next to them. There was not enough room to drive up the middle of the street.
But you're right.
So had a fire occurred, there would have been a great deal of confusion in getting that emergency equipment where it needed to go.
I think we can handle dumpsters.
Those kind of things
That's
are what
selective
we
item.
need to eliminate. The fact that we are short of boat storage, you know,
Yeah, it's real.
suck it up and put it in your driveway.
Shouldn't the rules, I mean, committee be the one to rewrite these, and not the safety committee?
No.
I thought that was what they did.
No.
So you want the safety committee to look at and rewrite all, like, what section is it? The gates and roads and gate, Article 5?